well, thank you. Well, it's 11:11, so let's get started. My name is Zsazsa Leverett. Hello, welcome. I'm going to be teaching trauma-informed yoga today. And what is trauma-informed yoga? Well, first of all, what is trauma? Trauma is caused from, laugh, react, thank you. Trauma is caused from being in a situation that is negative, is harmful to you, that you have no control over. So there's lots of different examples, but I think the most common one that everyone is dealing with right now is this COVID-19 quarantine. Most people don't like being in their house all day. If you're introverted, like me most of the time, I'm mostly introverted. I don't mind it too much, but it also starts to really get to you every once in a while, and it might feel overwhelming and scary. You might be feeling lots of different feelings that we need to heal from. How do you heal trauma? Well, you heal it from choosing to do something good for you. This actually rewires your brain. Oh, hello, Dad. So by doing creative movement that you get to choose when you start, when you stop, this is healing, and it's so good for you. So if at any moment you want to stop, that's a creative movement. That's up to you. Feel free to take a rest. If you need some water, drink your water, take a break, it's fine. If you want to do a movement that I'm not doing, like let's say we're standing upright and you want to lay down and do the same movement, go ahead. This is your practice, not mine. Don't think of me as your teacher, think of me as your guide. So, let's get on our mat. If you don't already have it, grab your blocks, grab your blanket. Here's a blanket. I'm going to be sitting on mine. And you can do what you want, but we're gonna start in a seated position. So whatever's comfortable for you. Lots of options here. I'm going to scoot back just a tiny bit. You can put your feet together. That's what I'm going to be doing because it's comfortable for me. If you like, you could also sit cross-legged. This is also comfortable, but halfway through you might want to switch your legs over. So up to you. You have your feet out. You can sit however you like. You can even sit in a chair. So as you sit here, start to settle in, get comfortable. If you want, you can put blocks under your knees for some more support. It might feel a little easier on your back. As you sit here, start to check in with your body. Notice your breath. How are we doing today? How are we feeling? How are we feeling physically? Let's start there. You can start with your toes and move up through your feet and your ankles, your calves. Notice any sensation. Notice anything that feels good, anything that feels kind of wonky today, sore. You can move on up through your hips, your core. Personally today, I'm feeling my core is a little weak. I'm having some trouble sitting upright, honestly. I keep leaning forward. So what I'm going to do, you might feel the same thing, is I'm going to fold my blanket in half again, and I'm going to sit on it, but I'm going to put the back half of my bottom on it, and that's going to help me get better posture. If you put it further up, it's going to be a little easier for you to slouch, but if you put it further back, it's easier to sit upright. So, that's what I'm going to do. Back half of my bottom. Alright, so that's a little more comfortable. And feel free to do this throughout class. If any moment you notice this isn't as comfortable as I'd like, make yourself comfortable. Continue scanning your body so you can move on up through your chest, your shoulders, your arms, into your fingers, your neck, your head. Maybe you can notice any muscles in your head, in your face, like maybe your eyebrows are scrunched. See if maybe you can relax those. Check in with your body. Now Now, not only do we heal trauma through creative movement, we also heal it through just paying attention, by being aware of our body. Trauma makes it easy to dissociate. It makes our body want to not be where we are. So by being present and by choosing the movements that you're making while being very aware of, like, those are my hands doing that right now, that's my toes doing that right now, you're rewiring your brain. So at any moment, if you catch yourself zoning away, maybe pull yourself back. If you're spacing out a little bit, pull yourself back. And keep practicing that. That is training your mind to have stronger concentration too. So that'll help your meditation practice as well. Notice your breath. Now that we've gone through our body, notice your breathing. Where are you breathing? Is it in your stomach? You're breathing through your chest, maybe your ribs or your back. Can you feel your lungs expanding? Notice if your chest is rising and falling with your breath. Notice if your stomach moves out when you inhale, or if it moves in when you inhale. Sometimes mine switches, and I try to be as aware as possible of making my stomach grow when I inhale. But you don't have to. That's what I try to do. You can just allow yourself to breathe naturally, but be aware of it. That's more options as we're settling into our body. You can have your palms face down to ground yourself. It might feel a little more grounding. Or palms face up. That might help you feel like you're receiving some energy from the universe. You can do any movement that's calling to you. But just continue to listen to your breath. Is it Melody? Hi, Melody. Hi. Welcome. So at any moment you want to do something different, go ahead. That's how we heal. Make your own choices in this practice. For some reason, I feel like doing this with my shoulders, so here I go. Now that we've settled into our body a little bit, and if you're just coming in, feel free to settle in yourself. Listen to your breath, listen to your body, listen to your emotions. How are you feeling right now? We can move on to, we're going to put one leg forward. You choose which leg we start with. Is that Jake? Hi, Jake. Welcome. Let's heal. So, once you've settled in with your body, you can choose to move your blanket if you like. I'm going to move mine just because I feel like it's more comfortable for me. And you could choose a block or a blanket to put under your knee. That's up to you. That's if you want to feel more of a stretch in your back rather than your hamstrings, that might be helpful. I'm going to keep that there, actually. I'm feeling quite comfortable with that. Now, when you're ready, your next inhale, you can raise your arms up. And as you exhale, come on down. As you inhale, whenever that is, remember this is your own breath. When you inhale, you can lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, you can fold forward just a little. Inhale, lengthen your spine whenever you're inhaling. Do this to your own rhythm. As you're doing this, notice how this feels and where does it feel those sensations. Does this feel good? Does this feel bad? If it feels bad, make some adjustments. Make this pose easier for you, more comfortable for you. The thing about trauma-informed yoga is it's not really as much about alignment. It's about creativity expression, noticing. Now, while I've given a couple of options, you could choose to continue those, or you could do something else if you like. If you want to really exaggerate your movements, as you exhale, you can lean forward, and you can really stretch open. Exhale. This is going to speed up your breathing if you decide to do this. So just be aware of that. You can try these different options and come on down. Come on up. This is kind of like a middle ground, a little bit less movement. And if you want to do very little movement, you can stay down. And just inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold a little deeper. You can let your head hang heavy if you like. You can keep your head up. We're almost done with this side. See how far you can potentially reach, maybe. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Nice. I'm going to do 3 more breaths here. Notice how this feels. Notice how you're breathing and where you're breathing. Last round of breath. And come on up. I'm going to wipe my hands off. And then make your, well, you don't have to, but I recommend, just to get a little bit more of a stretch, you might feel it better this way. If you just tilt yourself a little further to the left, but keep your leg still. When you're ready, bring your arms up and reach toward your foot with your right foot with your left hand. Now notice how this feels. It might feel comfortable. It might feel like a really nice stretch. It might be uncomfortable. You might feel tight. If you feel tight, bring it up a little. Lift your chest. You can reach for that toe. Inhale, lengthen a little bit. Exhale, you could reach a little bit further. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. We're not going to do this as much as the forward fold, so just a few more breaths. But if you like, before we end this, you can inhale, bring those arms up. Exhale, do a ballerina stretch. So bring your right arm under, left hand over. Fold. Inhale, lift up. You could do a nice little twirl. And come back down. This is pretty fun. It feels good. Some creative movement, kind of like we're dancing. Ooh. And whatever you decided to do, reach. I'm going to switch sides now. So tilt your hips back toward the middle. And you can switch your block to the other side if you use that. If you didn't, you can keep it down. If you're sitting on a blanket, that's great too. But find some comfort. Hello, Ashley and Mario. Welcome. We can, if you only just stopped in, you can just do these poses a little bit shorter, less amount of time. But get as comfortable as you can. Switch your feet out. Bring your left leg straight. Try to find the same amount of comfort, the same positioning on this side as the other. And inhale, bring your arms up, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward. Notice how this feels differently on this side. Does this feel good? Does this feel bad? Notice how it feels. Do you feel anything in this stretch? That's all right if you don't. You might not. You can adjust at any moment. Whatever you did on the other side, repeat it on this side. So if you want to do more exaggerated movements, you can. If you want to do very little movement, you can. If you want to do really exaggerated movement, you can. But whatever you do on the first side, try to repeat that on this side. Once again, you can let your head hang heavy as you exhale forward. That feels pretty good. Notice which muscles feel wet. Maybe you're feeling it a little differently on this side. Perhaps you never felt it on the other side. Continue that pattern, that cycle. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold forward. Just a few more breaths here. So if you wanted to exaggerate, you can. Hello. I can't see who that is. Zeno. Hello, Zeno. Fold forward. And we're just about done. One last breath. And come on up. Now we're gonna reach. We're gonna adjust our hips to look a little bit more to the right. You can keep this block here if you like, or move it. Inhale, arms up high. Exhale, reach towards your left foot with your right hand. Inhale, you can lengthen. Exhale, fold to the side. Now, whatever you did on the other side, repeat it on this side. So if you feel like this is too much, you can lift up a little bit. You don't have to exaggerate the movements as much. You can rotate your right shoulder away from your left leg if you like. That might feel a little better. And if you did it on the other side, you can really exaggerate and have lots of fun with this pose by doing that ballerina stretch. So left arm under, right hand over as you exhale, and as you inhale, switch, and exhale, come back down. How does this feel? Where do you feel it? Just a couple more breaths here. This pose we're holding a little bit less than the forward fold. One last time. Reach. And come on up. Now you can remove your blocks. Move them off to the side there. And we're going to come on to our knees and wrists. Well, hands. Now, I was thinking of wrists. You can bring your blanket down to give your wrists some protection if you like. This might feel nice and comfortable because we're going to be putting some weight on them. You can also put your blanket under your knees instead if you like, or if you have two blankets, you can bring them both. Okay. So, as you inhale, bring your stomach down, gaze up. Find some comfort in this pose. As you exhale, bring the middle of your spine up towards the ceiling. Let your head hang heavy. You can have your toes down or up. You can move side to side if you like instead. You can even really exaggerate these movements so you can bring your chest down, eyes back. And as you exhale, you can even sit back a little bit. You can sit back all the way if you like. Let your head come down. Then as you inhale, cow pose, stomach down, gaze up. Remember, this is to your own breath, your own rhythm. We're taking care of our spine right now by doing this. So whatever you want to do here, go ahead. As long as it feels good to you in the moment. Just a few more of these. Last one, how does this feel? Where do you feel it? Alrighty. Now, you can join me in needle pose, thread the needle pose. So inhale, you would lift your arms up high, your right arm, and as you exhale, bring your right arm under your left armpit and come lay down onto your shoulder. Now, this could be very uncomfortable. Today I'm not feeling too comfy in it. So I'm going to bring a block underneath my head and my shoulder. So I have a little bit more lift. If this is uncomfortable, you can put a blanket under you. You can also make sure you're stretched further away. That might help. But you might want to sit back even and feel a stretch instead like this. So whatever feels good to you, you just want to try to feel a nice stretch in your spine. That's the goal here. If you don't feel like it's a good stretch, you can come and relax instead. I know this is kind of a difficult one. Just come on down. But otherwise, you can rest your head on your blanket, relax your toes, and just notice how this feels. Where do you feel the stretch? Where do you feel the twist? Do you feel a twist or a stretch? About 5 more seconds left in this pose, so pay attention to how you're feeling. And come on up. Now, whatever you did on the other side, we're going to repeat it on this next side. So when you inhale, whenever that is, you can lift your left arm high and exhale, thread the needle. So whatever was comfortable. It's funny, we change so much in our body every day, so as you find what's comfortable for you, I'll just talk about what I did earlier. When I was trying to figure out what poses to do, I was using my block for this pose. It was very comfortable earlier, but now it just doesn't serve me. So it's okay if you could do something earlier and you can't do it now. It's okay if you can do something now that you couldn't do before. We're ever changing, so give yourself a break. Give yourself a rest, and just find what feels good in the moment, right now. So right now, the blanket's really feeling good. For me, what feels good for you? Where do you feel the stretch? Do you feel a stretch? Does it feel different on this side than the other? Just a couple more seconds. And come on up. Woo. We're almost out of time. Incredible. I don't believe it. So, come on up into a standing position. You can adjust your clothing, get as comfortable as you can. We're all about comfort here on Trauma-Informed Thursday. So whenever you're ready, you can give yourself a wide-ish stance. If you tend to overextend your knees like I do, coming a little closer, it's going to protect your knees. It's going to be easier to not overextend. But otherwise, you can do what you want as long as you're being safe. Now, whenever you're ready, inhale, arms up, head back. Oh, this is star pose. I love star pose. If you do not have an issue with your knees going back, feel free to bring your knees out, your feet out further apart. Really feel that star shape in your body. This pose is all about taking up space. So notice where you feel yourself in your room. You could take note of all the furniture around you. Okay, I'm in a room. I'm a human being. I'm alive. What? And I take up space. I have fingers and toes. Do you take up space? Of course you do. That's amazing. You can look at your body. You can feel your body. It's really cool to be alive, isn't it? We can breathe and digest food and sleep. If you want, you can bring your arms down. If your arms are getting tired, whenever you're ready, you can bring them back up again. If you want, you can bring your head forward and just keep your legs out. If your legs are feeling tired, you can bring them together, arms out, head back. Whatever's calling to you. Do what feels good. If you want to instead, maybe this hurts your elbows a little bit, you can bend them a little more. If there's any creative movement that calls to you, do it. Even though I'm telling you to do certain things, I'm even doing different things. Healing trauma is all about taking control of what you're doing right now. So that's how we heal it. We're creatively moving. I really just want to encourage you to, if you feel like dancing, please do it. Please do what you want to do. I am just a guide. If you want, as you inhale, you can really take up as much space as possible. Take up room. And as you exhale, you can even come into a little ball. Inhale, you can expand. As you exhale, you can implode. Like a star, implode on yourself. Inhale, explode. Inhale, feel free. Whenever you're inhaling, don't do it with my rhythm, do it with your own breath. I only have a few more minutes, just about 3. So, now that you've taken up space in your room, you've noticed, the different colors, the lighting, the fact that you can actually do any movement you call to, any moment. Woo! I'm moving. I'm taking up space. Amazing. You can come on down, and we're going to get into a comfortable lying down position. So whatever that means to you. If you want, you can grab a pillow. I've got a couch right by me. If you do too, you can grab a pillow. I'm just going to use my blanket and use that as my pillow. If you want, if you're in a cold room, you should use your blanket as a blanket, and feel free to go grab your pillow. And underneath your knees, if you like, you can put those blocks back under to give yourself some support. Lay back. And now what you do here, once again, is up to you. So if this is any way uncomfortable, if you'd rather put your feet together, do that. If you would rather, have your palms face down rather than face up, go ahead. And with your eyes, you can choose to have them open or closed. Rest here. Notice how you feel as you're lying down. And you can stay here in Shavasana, in resting pose, for as long as you like. I'm going to move up a little closer to you guys. But you can rest here for as long as you want. You earned it. You can stay here for a few more minutes if you like. What was my word of the day? My word of the day, I guess, now will be movement. That is my word of the day. So if you collect all the words, if you watch all my videos and you find the secret word of the day, you will earn yourself a free Celtic Cross Tarot reading online. So, yeah. Feel free to watch them all, get more views, get more knowledge, but also earn yourself a free tarot reading. At the end of the week, I'll be asking for all the words, and anybody who sends me all of them will get a reading. So, and besides that, thank you so much for coming to class today. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to leave them down below. I'm going to sign off, but I will read them. Thank you for coming. If you're still in your Shavasana, in your resting pose, stay there as long as you like. Take a nap if you feel like it. You earned it. Thank you for coming to my Trauma Informed Thursday. I hope you feel better. I hope you feel, if anything, just like proud of yourself for coming to your mat. Thank you. Have a good day.